According to the Telegraph, the Trump restoration is an unmitigated disaster for Germany. I am rather sorry for Germany, but this is an evil of their own making. I think I'll play that clip now.
Germany will become totally dependent on Russian energy if it does not immediately change course. Here in the Western Hemisphere, we are committed to maintaining our independence from the encroachment of expansionist foreign powers.
I've drawn attention to this before, but just look at the way they're all laughing. All these intellectuals here, grinning. And that woman actually has a look of distaste on her face. May have been just the way the camera caught her. Oh, but they think Trump is so stupid, don't they? That he's such an idiot. And a couple of years later, Ukraine hit them like a wet sock. But they're still buying stuff from Russia, you know.
It has been the formal policy of our country since...
Oh, she's chewing gum. Right. How respectful.
President Monroe.
I'm Granny Opterix. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. Apparently, Die Zeit, the German newspaper, the big German newspaper, just had one word in the headline. I tried to find it online. I can't find it. But that one word starts with an F. I did find other newspapers, though. Frankfurter Rundschau, the danger in the White House, and Süddeutsche Zeitung. Can't see. Oh, Trump's back. Yeah, the front page of Bild. There he is again. And this one, I don't know what this is, but What Now World? So obviously, they're not really worried about the world. They're worried about Germany. And the problem is that Germany has been too comfortable for too long. I've said this before in other videos. Germany has depended on America for its defence. Well, defence is very expensive, and all the money Germany saved, which came from a hard-working and honest population in general, they amassed a lot of money which they used for social programs. So they have wonderful clean hospitals and beautifully unpotholed streets and all the rest of it. And that's because they're not spending their money on defence. America is. Now, Trump is going to put an end to all of that. Trump's going to be saying, OK, you pay your dues now. And this is going to be quite a shift for German society. It says here Donald Trump's re-election is no picnic for Labour Britain either. But we are perhaps a little better prepared for that. We didn't have all those Americans on our territory taking care of our defence. And we do have a government that has absolutely no principles at all that it's willing to hang on to. So when it was appealing to the left and the Muslim vote and all the rest of that sort of wokery, then Labour ministers or MPs were calling Trump all sorts of names. Angela Rayner called him a buffoon. David Lammy said he was a KKK sympathiser. I think he called him a Nazi. He called him a bigot. Yeah, David Lammy called Trump a bigot. Well, now David Lammy, it says here, has dined cheerfully with the authors of Project 2025, the alleged playbook of a Trump 2 presidency, which states that trade with the post-Brexit UK needs urgent development before London slips back into the orbit of the EU. So the Labour Party's sympathy for going back to the EU, that's also going by the board. It says here the special relationship will be awkward, but Labour and MAGA may not be such visceral foes after all. No, Trump isn't a foe of anyone he can see as being good for America. That's one thing. And the second thing is Labour have absolutely no principles at all. They will accept bribes and then tell other people that they shouldn't accept bribes. They will look gently on fixed election results, in local election results, and then accuse the Conservative Party of doing just that. Labour will do anything. Just this particular Labour government will do anything just to hang on to power, and that's all there is to it. For Germany, however, the Trump sweep is an unmitigated disaster. Yeah, the German government is already disintegrating, which might save Britain even more from the EU. I mean, we all know that Starmer wants to edge us back into the EU, but with the EU falling apart internally, that might be more difficult as well. Donald Trump's victory marks the beginning of the most difficult economic moment in the history of the Federal Republic, apparently. On top of the domestic structural crisis, we're now facing massive foreign trade and security policy challenges for which we are not prepared. Yet, just like they weren't prepared for the Russian invasion of Ukraine and suddenly discovered that they didn't have enough fuel in the tank. And so they've got the domestic structural crisis, which is a crisis of the EU's making, really. And now security policy challenges, which means they're going to have to spend more on their army and less on their social programs, just at a time when they're having to take care of a lot of immigrants that they thought they'd have the spare cash to deal with. Okay, industrial production has fallen back to levels reached 18 years ago, and the German economy has seen almost no growth since 2018. Again, this has all to do with available production and with them overspending on social programs again. And by social programs, I mean an influx of migrants that they weren't prepared or equipped to deal with. Trump harbours a tenacious grudge against Germany, it says here, which is odd. A tenacious grudge against Germany, which is odd since his grandfather Friedrich Trump grew up in a Rhineland wine village. He accuses his ancestral country of free riding for years on the American consumer and US military protection, even as it enjoyed a sweetheart deal with the Kremlin for cut-price energy. It's all true. Trump is intuitively right that Germany's export ideology is or was a major distortion of global market forces, it says here. So there we are. There we have it. Now, the moral of the story, of course, is don't put all your eggs in one basket. And another moral might be don't freeload off your neighbours, which is what Germany's been doing. And it's because it was freeloading off its neighbours that Germany took in all those migrants and set Europe on a course which has devastated European cities. But they thought, oh yeah, we've got plenty of money to deal with this, so who cares how awkward it is for Greece and Italy. So they've caused a lot of trouble, those self-satisfied idiots sitting there in that box, in those pews there in the UN. Yeah, right, that's it. Well, we are going to see some realignment now, and it is going to be pretty painful. But Well, we can look on the bright side here in the UK. At least it means we're very unlikely to be dragged back kicking and screaming into the EU, by this government at any rate. OK, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.